Now students, the next topic is energy change in a physical change. Means during the physical change, how energy changes takes place. Means is it exothermic, is it endothermic? So here with the help of examples, we will complete this topic and you will understand it. So when solid heated, it melts. As we know about it very well, when we heat any solid, it will changes into the liquid state or it will melt. So what happens during the change of state? Means this is a solid state and it will be the liquid or molten state. So what will happen? So it absorb energy. It absorb the energy from the surroundings. So then it changes into the next stage. But when it will be cooled, so what will happen? When the steam, for example, solid changes into the molten state. So when water vapors cools or condense, what will happen? It evolves some heat. It means this is a exothermic change. And what it will be? When the heat energy is absorbed, that will be endothermic change. So it means endothermic change and exothermic changes, both changes can take place when there is change in state of matter. Now the question arises, why it happens? Why it absorb energy and why it evolve energy? So it happens because the kinetic energy of the molecules. As we know about it very well, that in the solids, molecules are tightly closed. In the liquid, the molecules are loosely packed like this. Or in the gases, the molecules are randomly moved. So it means in the solid state, the kinetic energy of the molecules is lowest. Means the molecules cannot move easily. It means kinetic energy become lowest in the solid state. In the liquid state, it becomes higher as compared to the solid state. And in the gaseous state or in the gaseous state, it becomes highest because of the randomly moved particle, because of the large intermolecular space between the molecules. So energy will be absorbed when solid changes into the molten state. And energy will be evolved when vapors condense. It means energy change occurs when there is a change in state of matter just because of the kinetic energy of which is possessed by the molecules, and it can be vary from one state to the another state as we have done in these three states of matter. Now the next example or next is dissolution. Dissolution means when we dissolve any substance, some substances evolve heat, but some substances absorb heat. It depends. So here we can take the example when we put some glucose on our tongue. So our tongue feel cold because their glucose absorb heat from it. So our tongue feels a cooling effect. So here we can also take one more example, that is, hold a glass in your hand. Take one glass, hold it in your hand and put some water into the glass like this. Take one glass and put some water into it and hold with the help of your hand and stir it after add some glucose into it. and continuously stir it with the help of spatula, with the help of spoon. You have to stir it. So what will happen? The glass will become slightly colder, because the dissolution of glucose in water is an endothermic change, because it absorbs the heat energy. You can get back the glucose by evaporating the water. It means it absorbs the heat energy. When we stir continuously, it absorbs heat. It means it is an endothermic reaction. So dissolution of glucose in water is a major example of an endothermic change. So in the same way, we can also take one more example, in that there is a exothermic change takes place. That is when we add concentrated hydrochloric acid in the water. When we add HCl, concentrated mean where there is a very less amount of water is present, that solution, that acid or that substance is concentrated. So when we will add HCl, hydrochloric acid, in the water, so what will happen? It evolve heat energy. So in the same way, we will do one more example under it. So already we have done the dissolution of glucose now. So now the question is, why energy change in dissolution? When we add glucose in the water, why energy change? Because the solid particles break up. Because when we add glucose may be in the powder form. So when we add glucose, the glucose will take the space which is present in the water. Water is liquid, it has loosely held molecules, and these molecules will be, the space between these molecules will be occupied by the glucose molecules. So then what will happen? The kinetic energy of the molecules, that also changes because of the temperature. So the change in kinetic energy will result in the absorption of heat. Means it depends upon the kinetic energy which is possessed by the molecules. Now the next one is energy change in a chemical change. Already we have done energy change in a physical change. Now the next topic, that is energy change in a chemical change. As we have done the various example energy change in a chemical, previously we have already done various example in a chemical change. So here we will discuss how energy change takes place during the chemical change. Now we will take again the example, that is burning of paper, burning of fuel. So when we burn fuel, as you all know about it very well, when we burn fuel, it gives light and heat energy. So when we burn matchstick, it emits light and heat energy. Now next one, emit means evolve. It means it is an exothermic change, takes place by the burning of paper. In the same way, next, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, already we have done the chemical equation of photosynthesis. So during the photosynthesis, what happens? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight is absorbed by the green leaves, chlorophyll presence, then glucose plus oxygen plus carbon dioxide, water, glucose, oxygen plus energy. It means here which energy is absorbed? Heat energy is absorbed by the carbon dioxide and water for the manufacture of food by the green leaves. It means this is also chemical change, and during this chemical change what happens? Leaves absorb energy. So it means which type of energy change can be here? endothermic, because absorption of heat takes place. Now next one is slaking of lime. Slaking of lime. It is a highly exothermic change, because in this case the heat is evolved when water is added to the quicklime. So water boils during the reaction. Slaking of lime is an exothermic change. Like this quicklime, when added with water, it forms slaked lime and heat energy is evolved. So it means this is an example of exothermic change. So these all are the examples of energy change in a chemical change. So now again the question arises, why energy change in a chemical change? Because of the rearrangement of the molecules, rearrangement of the atoms. When there is a chemical change, atoms rearrange themselves during the chemical change, then it forms a product. So it means the reactant molecules, as you know, these are the reactant and these are the product. Means the reactants are present on the left side of an arrow and products on the right side of the arrow. It means these are the reactant molecules, and these reactant molecules break up and they rearrange themselves and the products are formed. So we can say sometimes during the chemical reaction there is surplus of energy and sometimes there is a deficit of energy. It means when there is a surplus of energy will be there, it will be given out. When there is a deficiency of energy, when for example if we have very less limited things, it means we need something, it means we will take from outside. In the same way, when there is a deficiency of energy, deficit of energy in the chemical change, so at that time that reaction will take the energy from the outside, and when we will take the energy from the outside, it means that will become endothermic, and when we will evolve, when we will give out the energy, then it will be the exothermic change. I hope it's clear to you. So before that, I'd like to tell you that energy requirement, energy is very important. Already we have done. It depends upon the chemical reaction. Energy requirement for the completion of change. Why there is an energy change? If there will be no change in the energy, then what will happen? The full chemical reaction does not take place. And when the chemical reaction does not takes place properly, it means the product will not be obtained. The reaction will not proceed further. So the energy requirements are very important. That can be exo and that can be endothermic. It depends upon the reaction. As we have already done, when solid melts, when liquid boils, it takes the energy from the outside, because the kinetic energy of the molecules that have to break. That is why they need the energy from the outside. It depends upon the reaction. So the reaction will become endothermic. When there is a lot of energy, so the substance will give out the energy to the surrounding. They don't need too much energy at that stage. So we can take the example here. Again, this is the repetition. Condensation of vapor or freezing of liquid. In the same way, when HCl is added to the solution of sodium hydroxide. When HCl is added to the sodium hydroxide, HCl is hydrochloric acid. When that is added to the sodium hydroxide, HCl plus NaOH, then instant reaction takes place and it liberates heat energy. In the same way, next we can also discuss some more examples. When hydrogen does not react with oxygen, when the two are only mixed, but react explosively when the mixture is kindled. Kindled means when the mixture is ignited. So that will become exothermic because that need heat energy from the outside. When we have piece of paper, wood or paper, that does not burn. Why? When we not ignite it, that will not burn. But once the substance start burning, it burns completely. And one more thing we have to understand, if we will burn something, if that does not burn properly, it means that creates pollution. For example, in case of automobiles, when the fuel does not burn properly, that creates pollution. We can say incomplete combustion takes place, and that creates pollution. In the same way, when iron, already we have done, when iron react with sulfur, that form iron sulfide. This is also the reaction of exothermic change. In the same way, when we burn anything like mixture iron and sulfur in the mixed ratio, then nothing will be happen. In the same way, you can also take the example of like exothermic or endothermic changes. So it depends upon the kinetic energy of the molecules, depend upon the temperature of the which is given to the substance. So we can, at last I'd like to conclude. And one more thing, one is periodic, change is left that you can understand, like periodic and non-periodic changes. The changes which can be takes place at proper intervals of time, that is periodic, like motion of the pendulum, that is periodic change. Phases of moon, that is periodic change. Non-periodic means which does not takes place as proper intervals of time, like melting of ice. Anytime ice can melt, means it depends upon the time. Curdling of milk, anytime curdling of milk can be takes place. It is not a periodic change. That does not happen at a fixed intervals of time. So students, at last I'd like to tell you, we have done in this chapter various types of changes with their examples, and at last in your book, in the back exercise, there is given various types of classify the following into physical and chemical changes, right? Sometimes they can ask which is the exothermic change, which is an undesirable change, which is a chemical change. So how you will learn it? Don't cram for it. As we have done the full chapter, read the chapter thoroughly. This is very easy, and you have to read the chapter. While reading the chapter, the diagrams are given in your book. That diagram you can see. If you don't understand any topic, you can text me, you can message me, then I can clear your problems. So thank you very much.